Now, as it is being in fact presented, being spoken about, the watershed moment as far as the Indian history is concerned, how is it going to have an impact, not just culturally and as far as the people are concerned, but also politically in the upcoming 2024 elections? Just to try and understand the larger impact of this event, I am being joined at this moment by Sanjay Singh, senior journalist, who has been tracking not only the movement, but also, of course, the politics around it for a very, very long time. We also have Tushar Gupta. He's a senior journalist as well. Tushar, from among the young brigade, who has been seeing the impact on the young generation, and how much do they, and in fact, have this sort of resonance with the Ram Temple and the Ram Temple issue. We'll also be joined in a short while from Kush Pushundar. She's an Indian politician from the Bharatiya Janata Party and an actress who will be joining us in just a moment from now. Sanjay, if I may come to you before, in fact, all our guests are there. All right, Khushbu is there. I can see her. A very good evening, Ms. Sundar. I hope you're doing well. I saw that picture of you and your mother, in fact, meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi. First of all, how was that? And for somebody like your mother, 92-year-old woman, what does day tomorrow, the 22nd of January, mean for you and your family?
That's my mother-in-law, actually. She's 92, and she is a die-hard follower of our Honorable Prime Minister. And she has been not keeping too well. She's a heart patient, and she said that, well, I don't know if I'm going to live that long, if I will ever be able to meet the Prime Minister. Since he was coming to Chennai, she requested if she could meet him. And I met the Prime Minister in Kerala, and then I shot a mail to him. And I immediately got a response that he would like to meet my mother-in-law. And I took her there, and I think the joy that I see her, she's still reeling in that. I mean, she has this bright smile across her face. And I'm sure meeting the Prime Minister has added many more years to her life, because suddenly she looks young, she is happy, she is so excited. And I think that's what matters at this age. And the way the Prime Minister met her, the amount of respect he showered upon her, and the way he spoke, and that's what I tweeted, that yes. The way he spoke to her, it was like a son speaking to his mother. And I think that is what brought tears to my mother-in-law's eyes, because she came back, and when she was sharing her experience with the other family members, my husband, she had tears rolling down her cheeks, and she was so excited about it. So I think this is the kind of aura the Prime Minister has, and the blessings of the elders he has. I think that is what keeps him going so brilliantly.
You know, what is going to happen tomorrow, the consecration ceremony? I mean, it is, as many are calling it, the watershed moment as far as the Indian history is concerned. For somebody, Khushbu, like your mother-in-law, 92-year-old woman, what does that mean? I mean, like you said, she said that, it will be once in a lifetime opportunity to meet the Prime Minister. For many of her generation, they possibly wouldn't have thought that this the temple and the event that is going to take place tomorrow is going to take place in their life, history.
Absolutely. She is, I don't have words to express what she feels right now, because I think people of her generation, they all have been waiting all their lives for this temple to come. And, somewhere deep down within themselves, they had given up that they will ever be able to see this kind of India where we talk about, we learn about, we have grown up on the history of Ram, we have read Ramayana, and she is such a pious woman who starts her mornings with the prayers and she ends with the prayers, and she's listening to all the bhajans, she's listening to everything that is about spirituality and, divine force. For someone like her, I think this is the ultimate dream come true, indeed, because, I see she's not going to sit. She's not a television person where she would watch news, but I think for the last 3-4 days, all she's been doing is watching news. Anywhere the Prime Minister is going, she has been watching that. Anything that is about Ayodhya, she's watching that. She's reading the newspaper, and she's waiting for tomorrow. And she has made very clear instructions to everyone at home that nobody's going to disturb her from 12 noon till the puja is over. And tomorrow is going to be strictly vegetarian at home for all of us, because she is very clear. Tomorrow is the puja at Ram Mandir, and nobody's going to eat non-vegetarian. So we have very clear instructions.
Right. Before I get my other two guests, one more question to you. What does this mean as an artist? somebody who I'm sure at some stage on whether a play or in school or in your professional career as an actor, somewhere people talk about Ramayana or they play some character inspired by the great epic. What does this mean, for you tomorrow? What we are seeing, what we are going to see tomorrow, as everybody's talking about Ram returns to Ayodhya.
I think it's a very, what do you say? You get these goosebumps when you say that there's going to be puja. Are we going to witness this actually happening in a birth? I mean, how many of us get to see that? I don't think we would have ever imagined in our lives that we are actually going to see the rebirth of Ram, or we are going to see Ayodhya being built, and we are going to see that this is where Ram was and what is the history of Ram. We have read Ramayana, we have been through the history of Ramayana. School days, we used to actually wait where if you could get a chance to play Sita or Hanuman for that matter. I would love to play Hanuman or Sita in my school days. And we all used to think that probably this is just going to be something which we have read about it, we have heard about it, but we will never be able to get to see it. But today, when you look at Ayodhya, when you see that Ram Lalla statue, unveiling of that statue, and you look into the eyes of Lord Ram, and then you say that, wow, I mean, it really gives you those goosebumps and say that we are so blessed to witness this kind of a historic moment in our lifetime. It's just simply cannot, you feel the divine force, and it just cannot be explained in words as to what it means.
May I request you to stay on with me? Sanjay Singh, as somebody who has written about it, tracked it for many, many years, from the Ram Temple movement to, in fact, life coming full circle to what is going to happen tomorrow. Since 1990s, is it the biggest mobilization of any kind that we are seeing at this moment?
I think this is the biggest mobilization since independence, Ankit. And the joy we see all around, be it in your neighborhood, be it in a city, be it in your native village, and be everywhere. And what Khushbu Sundar was saying about her mother-in-law is completely glued to TV. My mother in Patna is completely glued to television for last few days. And so is my elder sister. They keep on talking and talking about it. And I take it, this is a great moment for India, a historic moment. When we are reclaiming our civilizational pride. See, this is beyond Mandir. Mandir, of course, whenever I have gone to Ayodhya and in other parts of the country relating to Ayodhya movement, people used to ask only one question. That question, in fact, was a statement, so to say, not a question per se. When हमारे जीवन काल में देखने को मिलेगा क्या? ये बनेगा क्या? And then they would kind of say कि शायद इस दशक की शताब्दी में नहीं, अगली पता नहीं होगा कि नहीं होगा. And then those craftsmanship that was going in Ram Sevakpuram and Kasevakpuram, you go there and then after a while you think that, okay, when this is going to be actually put into work. At Ramchila, eat those bricks, Ram bricks that were collected in first phase of Ram movement when Mr. Advani had led that movement.
Right.
When you see those and when you see this difference that is happening today and the way Prime Minister has taken this 11-day Anushthan, he's fasting, he is traveling, he is doing all his official work and so on and so forth. This is kind of a cultural, civilizational regeneration movement for India.
Tushar Gupta, but for for people, those who are, let's say, the millennial kids, or maybe people those who are Gen Z, 2000, and onwards kind of kids, how has this been, relevant for them? Fine for their parents or their grandparents, but is there that connect with the young India that we see with Khushbu or Khushbu's mother-in-law or Sanjay's family? Is that connect still there? Because you keep tracking these things. Are you seeing that kind of a connect with the younger India?
Well, let me tell you, as a 90s kid, let me tell you something. When we were young, we were somehow taught to be a little apologetic about our religion. We were told to romanticize selective parts of our history. And the whole argument about Babri structure or the Ram Mandir got lost in the debates around secularism and modern day wokeness. So as, the young brigade, as we like to term it, wasn't really connected to all this perhaps say 10 years ago or 15 years ago. But in the last few years, there has been a change. If I'm looking at the ground today, I'm in Delhi, young kids, getting crackers with their parents, talking to the elderly communities, gathering in the parks, having functions, having some sort of a bhandaras,
Yes.
just celebrating together.
Yes.
On the ground, it has been a massive, massive movement which has been tracked by the media for years. It's been tracked by the global media. But inside the homes, amongst the elderlies, like Khushbuji's mother-in-law or Sanjayji's mother,
Right.
it has been an endless wait for the people who are our parents, say the 60s and the 70s kids.
Right.
They never expected this to happen in their lifetime. And the young ones today, they want to discover now.
They're so
true. Passionate about this. They want to read about it. They want to listen to every podcast there is on the Ram Mandir.
You're right.
Everything they want to, but they're so passionate.
I totally agree. I mean, that there is a sense. But Khushbu, in conclusion, may I ask you this? Like the RSS chief also said, that let tomorrow be the beginning of a new sense of reconciliation to take the nation as one, as, without any bitterness forward.
This is to me?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Let me tell you that I belong to a Muslim community. I'm a Muslim by birth, and I still continue to follow my religion. But when I feel so much about Ram Mandir, Ayodhya, and Ram, I think, this brings out the actual oneness what India is known for. We are just connected to each other. It doesn't matter which religion you belong to. Today, the entire India is lit. India wants to celebrate Ram Mandir. India wants to celebrate the rebirth of Ram. And everyone has only one thing on their lips, and that is Jai Shri Ram, irrespective of the religion you belong to. So I think this Mandir, this opening of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, it's just binding all of us together. There are going to be lakhs and lakhs of diyas being lit all over the country, including overseas, because I have my friends all over the world, and like from the US or UK, Singapore. They all are excited. They belong to a different religion, but they're saying we are going to light up diyas in our homes. So I think this is really about bringing India under one umbrella and saying the oneness, what we keep talking about, the unity, the secularism, what we keep talking about. I think this divine force is bringing us together.
Is this Sanjay Singh, from the many decisions that the Prime Minister has taken, tomorrow when he goes there for Pran Pratishtha, is that going to be possibly the biggest banner headline even for Narendra Modi's career?
I think I would say this would be biggest moment, of course, headlines or otherwise. But yes, this is perhaps the biggest moment. He was the one when that Ram Rath Yatra started in 1990. He was the one who was key organizer. In fact, Gujarat, it began from Somnath, and he was the organizer. And for rest of the time, Narendra Modi was, LK Advani was arrested in Samastipur. He was right there. And since then, he had taken a vow, and that is now public as to, and that Kanyakumari to Kashmir, that yatra was organized, he was there. And look at it, he was, when he became Prime Minister, people used to ask questions as to why he was not going to Ayodhya. And he kept working on it. And ultimately, he delivered what millions and crores people of India had been waiting for 500 years. So this is, of course, a big, big moment. 370, of course, was a big moment. But remember, when 370 was kind of abolished, he was not present in Rajya Sabha.
That's right.
He did not give any speech immediately. It was Amit Shah who, in both houses of parliament, spoke about it.
That's
one
right.
of the finest speeches. Prime Minister Modi, with this happening, and he even going to various places, and the way he ensured that the way Ayodhya comes up, not this temple. But if you look at economy around it, that is going to be, somebody is going to be computing this, and that is going to be huge and huge for India.
Absolutely, and it also comes at a very, very important juncture just ahead of the 2024 elections. So, of course, there will be political connotations to it as well. But at this moment, we'll leave the politics aside. Khushbu Sundar, Sanjay Singh and Tushar, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your views on this very important topic.